What's up, Airsofters? Today we're taking a look at a belt-fed bruiser built for suppression and lane control, the Knights Armament licensed Stoner 96 LMG AEG. Whether you're locking down an objective so your teammates can take the flank or just wanting to drop a wall of plastic volume at range, this replica brings big presence and real light machine gun energy to the field. Before we take a look at this gorgeous replica, let's get into the background of the real Stoner LMG to provide some context. The Stoner 96 traces its roots back to Eugene Stoner's original modular weapon system from the 1960s, a design that emphasized flexibility, lightweight construction, and the easy roll conversion. The 96 variant was a Knights Armament modernization produced in limited numbers during the 1990s and designed to compete in the light machine gun space as a belt-fed, support-oriented platform. While it was submitted for trials and evaluated, there's actually no official record of the Stoner 96 being adopted into widespread military service, likely because the M249 had already been largely adopted by many NATO countries at the time of its trialing. Regardless, its legacy lives on, and the modern version of Stoner's design carries the spirit in the contemporary Knights light assault machine gun, which is currently testing in the United States Army Rangers. Now that said, in the airsoft world, it fills a niche for players who want something lighter and sleeker than a traditional saw, but still built to deliver suppressive fire and visual intimidation. So let's dive into the externals. Now, aside from that high-speed 90s aesthetic that this thing's got in spades, what you'll likely notice first about the Stoner 96 is its heft, clocking in at 10.5 pounds out of the box. Now, while that's on the heavier side for most average AEGs, that's actually pretty close to the unloaded weight of the real Stoner 96, which again was meant to cut as much superfluous weight from the concept of a light machine gun as possible. What's that mean for you? Realism. As this thing carries presence, when you shoulder it, you know it's designed for suppression in a nimble package that puts chunkier airsoft machine guns to shame. Almost everything here is metal. The receiver, the barrel, the adjustable stock give it some serious durability. The finish is matte black, rugged enough to take abuse without showing it immediately, and the box magazine is auto winding and holds a reasonable 1,200 rounds. Again, a little lean for most other airsoft machine guns on the market, but a nice in-between if you find the idea of carrying over 5,000 round drum mags cumbersome, noisy, and overall annoying. The inner barrel runs 410 millimeters at a 6.05 millimeter diameter, which puts it right in the middle of M4 and AK platforms lengthwise, and the weight distribution is close to perfect, which helps a lot when dragging this beast around all day or being as agile as you probably should be when running a support gun. On the ergonomics side, the stock is adjustable, so you can tweak the length of pull depending on the optimal length for you, as was standard for the 90s and the early aughts. The Stoner 96's handguard features quad Knights Armament rails at the 12, 3, 6, and 9 positions and a skeletonized dust cover. The Picatinny rail for your optics suite, both front and over the main section of the receiver. Now, overall, visually and physically, this thing is built like a support weapon should be. Durable metal, large capacity, many rails, and no gimmicks. You might notice that we've accessorized this just a little bit, removing the front and rear included sights for a more high-speed setup, and nothing says high speed like an MRO, am I right? We've also added some dummy rounds, as they do not come included in the box, but you can purchase those separately, and I think that they really fill out that look a little bit better. You'll also notice that we've added a vertical grip, but not just any kind of vertical grip, a standard vertical grip that's kicked out at a 45-degree angle thanks to a 45-degree adapter, which I quite like. Let's talk internals. Once you crack open the Stoner 96, you will find a solid foundation geared for true airsoft suppressive fire. The gearbox is full metal with 8mm components, and there's a quick detach spring feature, so swapping springs is less of a hassle if you need for whatever reason, indoor, outdoor play, or so on and so forth. The hop-up is adjustable and can be located by flipping up the feed tray and locating that rotary wheel. Power-wise, you're probably gonna get the best mileage out of a 7.4 volt stick LiPo capable of being stuffed into the handguard, because it is wired to the front to a small type Tamiya. Now, if you don't wanna run it in the handguard, you could, of course, go with kind of a more vintage style of adding on a dummy PEQ style battery box to the outside and just popping the wiring outside of the handguard. The electric winding box magazine does a great job of keeping up with the gun's stock rate of fire and is powered by a battery added to the bottom of the box mag's cloth cover, which just unzips conveniently to give you access to that, which helps you spend less time reloading and more time laying down fire. Performance-wise, expect something around 400 feet per second out of the box with a .20 gram BB, which is just enough bite for mid-range suppression without getting too hot for most outdoor fields. So, If you are looking for a support platform that breaks the mold of the clunky, overbuilt LMG, this Stoner 96 is worth a serious look. With its full metal build quality, railed front end, and a slightly lighter footprint compared to the classic M249 or the very heavy PKM, it threads the needle between realism and field practicality. You get the silhouette of a real squad support weapon without dragging around a much heavier platform, which is exactly what the real Stoner 96 machine gun and its subsequent iterations have attempted to achieve in real life. Belt-fed goodness, but at a fraction of the speed and mobility penalty that other machine guns actively incur. It's lean, it's mean, and it doesn't overcomplicate the mission. For players running a support role who want a lighter, cleaner, and more unique platform, this Stoner 96 is a killer option. Airsoft killer. You can find the Stoner 96 and everything else you need for your next Airsoft game right here at Evike.com. See you on the field.